Hello, everyone. This is Sarah from a cozy little den here in Ashland, with friends home. We've got Owl with us today. So, for anyone that is popping on, I'm on tour. So, this is just a little dropping into my schedule through the very flexible schedule of being on tour. And I've just been on the Needed Wisdom tour traveling from BC, and I'm heading to Santa Cruz. Today I'm going to Mount Shasta to do Ask the Inviisibles, which I'm quite excited about. And I think that today will probably be a shorter episode. So I know we're a little late today, but I hope some of you guys find me. Oh, hello, whoever you are popping on. So for the day, for anyone that is new to this, the basic guidelines that I have for you as participants, as witnessers, as receivers, is to believe it, receive it, leave it, or lend it. So if there's anything that comes up today that is really important for you to hold on to and to work with, like a gold nugget of truth that can really inspire you in your life path, then please take it on, receive it, believe it, allow it to create shifts with your actions. If there's something that doesn't resonate with you and it really doesn't feel like it is a truth that is necessary to be something that you follow, be something that you align yourself with, then no worries, no problemo, just leave it, okay? And then the last part of it is lending it. So lending is the process of, if there's something that comes up today that's really feels a lot bigger than you have the bandwidth or the capacity or the support right now in your life to really go into and unravel and unwind from yourself, then you can lend it. And so what lending is you can kind of create a vibrational bubble around the essence of this teaching or the essence of what's wanting to come up. And then you can just offer that into the earth and ask Pachamama to hold on to it like a little seed until you're ready to get into that, until you're ready to feel like you have the support that you need to really let that shift and shake your life. So those are the guidelines. Hello, next person popping on. I'm here in Ashland right now. So the first part of this is I get to, first acknowledge the space, acknowledge all of the land that we are on, the great roots that are beneath us, the celestial realms above us, all the in-between. And I'm going to ask the first question. So for anyone popping on, the Inviisibles is a group of spirit mentors that I work with and have been developing a relationship since a child. And so you're welcome to ask a question for yourself, humanity, or the planet. And those questions you can put on the thread. If there's a private question that you don't want your name associated to, you can send me a private message. And I get the first question. So let me feel into that. So I feel like my question is any guidance that they have regarding creating flexibility in one's life. And I'm going to keep it simple like that. So any guidance on flexibility and the concept of flexibility. So here we go. Honoring that the path in this life can be straightforward, even if it is winding. Okay? That there's a direction that you go that brings you to the surface of what's needed for you, right? But that in order to continue to make it past the roadblocks in life, you need to be flexible. You need to understand that at some point you may need to duck. You may need to take that side street. You may need to address that there's something beyond your conscious comprehension that is beckoning you to move aside from an agenda that may not be coming from your root truth anymore. Okay? Because that root truth is something that magnetizes in its own will, in its own volition, what's needed for you in this life. So in the concept, when bringing up and surfacing flexibility, what we advise is to look into the parts of your body that are holding rigidity. Going into those physical parts, into those places where spirit has solidified a lesson for you to unwind and unravel when you're ready. And the longer that those rigid or structure remains in your body, holding still, the harder it can be to actually allow the flexibility to move your will into your action, into your living expression of the divine. Okay? So when asking what is flexibility for your spirit, well, it's as simple as understanding that there is a way that you can navigate a greater calling that can be dormant within your basic DNA blueprint. Okay? That this calling is something that requires a level of flexibility because it needs to shift with you. So honoring that you hold a key in your body to awaken passageways that your mind could never comprehend. In some cases, that your desires could never write for you. So agility, resourcefulness, creativity, all of these aspects are ways and routes to bringing flexibility into your life. Thank you. Hello. So that was a little insight on flexibility. Oh, hello, Ming. And hello, anyone else popping on. You are next. So I'm going to show this. So the question we have is, hi, Sarah. I have a question regarding how I can offer service to share the wisdom I have been receiving while meeting my financial needs at this time. At the same time, I've been feeling a call for changes and new beginnings in this area of my life. Thank you. All right, this is for you, my dear. We honor that there is a path that you have been walking for the last 3 to 6 months that in some ways is determining which fork in the road you are going to make. Because it is true that our past, our decisions, our footsteps, the imprints that we have on others are all somehow supporting, aligning us with these new crossroads in our life. And so for you, we see that it's not the crossroad that you're coming upon, but it is the meeting of the two paths in your life. That is the question here. That instead of choosing one or the other, instead of choosing financial stability over wisdom and innate offerings, what is that point where they meet? How do they funnel into one path? And so for you, we're seeing that there's an aspect of, how do we say this? I'm just going to show you. They're showing me this image of this like cute little one-room schoolhouse for some reason. It's reminding me of like a little red schoolhouse from like back in the day. I can get a little more into that. Let's see. Okay, they can get into that. Why we're showing this image is because there is a way of sharing your offerings, and it doesn't have to be to so many individuals. How do we say this? So we're seeing that it's less about quantity than about the quality of the people that you're serving, okay? That to find these deep, rich connections is what's more important right now. And so in developing these skill sets that you say you've been talking about, is there a way that you can find? So they're showing me this image, like I'm seeing the schoolhouse again, but now I'm seeing this, like if it was boarded up, like there's like a piece of wood going over the door that says closed. And I'm wondering, just using my own symbol bank. Oh, hi, Donald. I'm wondering if what they're trying to get at is that there is this, like the structure. Let me just feel into this a little more. Okay, let me keep going. As much as you're open to sharing, as much as you are willing to give your all, there is still an aspect of the structure that's needed to support your work, that is closed, that is boarded off to those that seek it. And so why we show this image is that the schoolhouse represents a place of learning. It represents a place of gathering, a place of developing skills. But the one-room schoolhouse is a place where many ages, many skill sets could come together. But what we're seeing and what we're trying to share here is that what in your path right now may actually be that big piece of wood blocking the door from the world. Okay. Because to create the structure, to bring in the resources, it needs to be able to hold space for what the design of what you're working with. Okay. So what we're seeing is that the structure is not open. The doors are not open. You haven't fully birthed the container in a solid way for those that are coming to you. So is there a way of looking into possibly venues or physical locations that could open? Oh, they're popping up for a moment. I think like kind of what they're trying to show me is that it's really important for you to get to the foundation. So get to the structure of what you're like, how you're going to welcome people into your teachings, because they almost like show me how like there's all this stuff going on inside the school. It's like it's almost like you're percolating, like you've got these gifts that are stewing, but that until you can go into like, well, why is the door shut? And this can be some homework for you. It's like, what part of you has chosen to keep that door shut? What is it going to take for you in your life to actually feel that you can open that door? And the thing with the schoolhouse too is it represents, it's like a place that is open to the community, that is open to the children. It's not it's not your home. It's a place that's going to have people coming in. So looking into where in your life is that door closed, and what can you do to open it? What's present? I feel like there's more to this, but I want to keep going. Does that make sense, my dear? All right. So moving on. Thank you. So the next question we have, let's see, we've got a question from Jody. Hello, Jody. And I'm going to show this. She says, hello, Sarah. I thought I was doing well clearing the energies of others and blocking the energy suckers, but am very drained. What advice? Okay, good. What advice or teachings can give me a better support to protect my energy? Thank you. Oh, great. Well, this is the tour I'm doing. I'm teaching energetic hygiene classes, so I'm super passionate about this topic of how do we allow ourselves to be sensitive, to be intuitive, to be empaths, to really feel yet not get pummeled to the point of having to shield and really block our gifts from the world. So let's see. So you're feeling drained and feeling that it's somehow connected to other people pulling energy from you. Let's see what they've got to say about that. They're like pina colada. I don't know what that's about. Let me keep going. Remembering how to serve is very important for you in your life right now. Remembering how to give from a place of authentic giving, authentic caring. But what's happening is we see that there are 3 individuals that affected you in the last 2 to 4 years or 2 to 4 months. And these individuals have come into your life to teach you where you've let, we don't want to say guard, but where you've resisted giving the attention and attentiveness you need to different areas of your energetic body. And so we're also seeing that in order for you to resist the temptation to give when you are actually coming from a depleted place, okay? This is the important area here, because to give when you're coming from a depleted place can be very, how do we say? Keeping the ones in your life that support you in your need to replenish yourself close is really important right now. Because what's happening with this drainage, we're seeing working with the lymphatic system would be really helpful. But what's happening with this feeling of being drained is that we don't like using this word, but the shield that you have, we're seeing it. Oh, it'll be easier for me to describe it. They're showing me this image of, it's below, it starts about your navel, and it's almost like if you were to have like a shield, but it was slightly translucent that goes like, it's like this, like it's quite that shape, almost like the side of an egg. Let me keep going. What we're seeing is that your mechanisms for protection are outdated, okay? And it doesn't mean that they don't work in certain situations. But as you're developing a greater sense of sensitivity and desire to serve, okay, in different areas of your life, what's happening is that you are realizing that this old system of shielding is actually getting in the way of you being accessible to those you're desiring to serve, right? So what we encourage or recommend for anyone that this could relate to is a practice is diaphragm breathing, okay? So working with the breath to oxygenate your body. And why we're bringing this to you, there's many different techniques, but that by breathing deeply, by oxygenating your body, you actually allow more energy to push at the boundaries of your auric field. So when these energies are coming at you, specifically, like we said, we don't know if it's connected to a schooling or a learning. There's somebody that we see. They're also like something about 7 or grade 7. I don't know, grade 7. Let's keep going. So doing diaphragm breathing, really breathing deep into your diaphragm, releasing any excess or, oh, they're popping out for a moment. Let me see what they're trying to get at. They're kind of showing me that there's like these old patterns that it doesn't feel like it's from this life necessarily, but it's like these old patterns that, like how they're showing me is I see this image of almost like a cord of energy that's coming possibly from another life. I don't think it's ancestral, but how there's, okay, they want to get into what the belief is in this. So the belief that we're seeing is, it is unsafe to develop my capacity to give without absorbing the pain and suffering from the people I'm giving to. The other one we hear, and the wording might be a little different, but the other one we hear is, in order to create substance in the life of others, I must take on the burdens that drain their bodies. Okay. And the last one we hear is, I allow myself to be depleted in order to meet the vibration of the beings I am drawn to. Okay, that's a big one right there. I allow myself to be depleted to meet the vibration of the ones I'm drawn to. Okay, and so seeing this and feeling this, of course, believe it, receive it, leave it, lend it, right? So by having that understanding, what is going on in your life right now that is asking you to stop the bullshit that you can't shift into something that is in greater alignment with your path? Because those decisions to meet these beings and have a vibrational drain and an energetic drain on your body in order to do so is actually enabling the stagnation right now in your life in some areas. It's slowing down your capacity to thrive. Okay. So in order to shift that direction that story goes in, you have to remember, oh, they're popping out. I feel like there's a bunch more to that, but yeah, working on deep diaphragm breathing and somehow maybe that could be some homework for you, is that doing some deep breathing and then feeling if there are any energetic, like if you feel any tingles, or you can have a sensation, or if you close your eyes and you ask your eyes to show you, your inner eye to show you if there's any cordage that's happening, then you can kind of use your breath to kind of what they're showing me is using your breath, like push out any energy that might have come closer to your field, that might be draining. So using breath as a form of like creating space is an idea. So that's for you, my dear Jody. Thank you. All right, so moving on. Okay. All right. So it looks like we've got, actually, I think we've only got, I don't think we have any questions left. So unless somebody's got a burning question, I've got a road trip to keep going on today. I'm driving to Shasta. I just wanted to pop on and offer a little glint into the transmission. So, oh, it makes sense? Okay, good. Blessings to that. All right. Well, thank you all so much for just like popping on and me in this with Owlie and this sweet little room in Ashland, Oregon. And I'm going to be off. I'm not going to be able to do it next week because I am scheduled during the Ask Inviisbles when I'm in San Sebastopol. But maybe I'll make some surprise appearances if I get some time later on in the day. So blessings to your day, my dears, and a hoo ho.